So there are this kind of people who they just fall in love because I think there's this guy, he's handsome. And when I walk with him in the streets, of course, there's that self-esteem issue.
Yeah.
I am that woman. And again, there's the aspect currently of money. So I do not care your moral, I do not care your face, I do not care your heart. Your wallet is smiling, I am smiling too. And so I will try to fit in that place because there's something I'm gaining from you.
Yeah.
Not there's a difference between happiness and joy. So you're just happy, but you don't have a complete joy. So with such kind of people, that is the society we are in. Do you believe there are still remnants? That you can still get a good woman somewhere who needs to be made whole? Because for me, I thought it's more to do with self-esteem. If I don't have a self-awareness, then anybody, anything works for me. But when I have a self-awareness, then it means there are things I will not do.
Do you want me to answer that? I will answer that. Simply put, yes. And shock on you, a very high percentage. A very high percentage of women, especially those who are in touch of who they are, those that have found their identity in Christ, those that are not suffering an identity crisis, because the thing that is bringing about the issue of, I see where you're going. I see where you're going, and I see you're clearly trying to steer away from that. It's okay, be safe around here. You know that. I know you're trying to go to the place of safety where you don't want to say story, I'm a sponsor.
It's a sponsor story.
That's a sponsor story. And I tell you for free, anyone who is on the sponsor aspect is suffering an identity crisis. The moment you don't know who you are, you will need another person to affirm you. But the moment you know who you are, you will not need any element of truth apart from Jesus Christ to affirm you. Because number one, he says, what can take me away from the love of Jesus Christ? When you lose your identity, the first thing that is introduced into your spirit is the aspect of a vacuum. So you see, you will have this vacuum which you're trying to fill it up with other things. We've all come from the place of emptiness. And you see, wholesome is about being made whole. Is looking at this person, the inside and out, and making this person whole. Is the pursuit of holiness. A lot of people, you hear them say, hey, manze, history of holiness ni hard sana, especially in the society we're living in. No! I think holiness is the easiest lifestyle anyone can take, because what holiness does, it frees you. It frees your mind. And one thing that I keep telling people is that the moment you're able to speak to your spirit, your mind responds to your spirit. So being whole means that there is no element of first aid. Hujafanyiwa first aid. You have been dealt with from the root. And this is where it says you take out whatever is inside. You don't deny the fact that you have been hurt. Because a lot of people will tell you, kanyange your story.
True.
Yeah? But we want to deal with the root. My mom is from a medic place. And one of the things I remember, there's a time I went to the river. And as a young girl, we had just gone to the village because of loss. One day I'll tell you about loss. So we went to the village because of the loss we had that had happened. And I went to the river and I scraped my foot with a stone and I got an infection. And I hid it for so long because my leg was swollen, it was in a lot of pain, and I knew what my mother would do. She was going to open up the wound out, press the pus.
Painful.
Yes.
It's painful.
And then dress it up again. I was not ready for that. I rather suffered in that so that I don't encounter the process. But one time it was too much. I couldn't handle it no more. So she found out. She took me, sat on me, took my leg, pressed it.
That's your mother, I know, right?
Yeah. And guess what? In 3 days, I was whole. It was painful. It was a very painful process. I suffered for so long. I almost lost my leg because I was hiding. So when I say there's a remnant, yes, those that are done hiding behind pain, like you and I. God has made us whole because we are facing the reality. I have been hurt. I have been bruised. I have been wounded. But guess what? Here I am. God has made me whole. There is no restoration if there is no loss of death. There is no resurrection if there is no death. There is no forgiveness if there is no sin. You cannot be able to identify with these terms if you have not experienced them.
Awesome. And in connection with that, now that you brought up the story of sponsors, you know, the sponsor story sounds very amazing when people talk about it. Like if you sit in a quorum where guys are talking about sponsors, it sounds like it's a real deal. Like, this guy should not bring for me. I mean, in nowadays we even hear people say, they even get married with 5 kids again. So in that relationship, do you think marriage lasts? Are there marriages that actually, because people are like, are there marriages that are lasting? And I'm like, there are people who've made it. But again, Joy, what has been amazing, I've been involved in some issues, even you know, where I've worked with people married for 42 years, and then a guy just decided, I am out. As in, I have left group, and you're wondering, 42 years, not the years, not personal years, but 42 years of marriage. And this guy decides, okay, it is enough, I've left. You've been patient for 42 years, then you left. And when you go, it's not that you're going to get like a small house, then you say, it's never too late, I'm starting again. You actually bring somebody else on board. So my question has always been, if I was not able to actually be patient with the person that I started the journey with, what guarantees me that even this second person, I will be able to handle all the problems, all the troubles they come around with, and all the packages, by the way, because they come with their packages. So do I have the grace for those baggages? But the sponsor thing sounds like a real thing to the society.
Well, I don't even know what to answer first. You brought up a lot of issues.
Like, do we have marriages that are actually lasting?
Yes.
I think you have actually answered part of it, saying identity, which is very true. But in that marriage, do I also lose my identity when I'm married?
Yes. And no.
Okay.
Let me briefly address sponsor. History I'm a sponsor.
Yes, please do.
And I want to put it like history I'm a sponsor.
As it is.
Yeah?
Yes.
The story of my sponsor, because it's not sponsorship, history I'm a sponsor.
I'm a sponsor.
It comes from the place where we dethrone God. And a lot of us have done that. We have formed idol worship in our own setups. You know, when you think about idolatry, you're thinking about tutu mungu twa kuchonga. But anything that takes the place of God, anything that steers you from God, automatically becomes an idol. Now, when we are looking at sponsors, let me read for you something very brief by Ruth from Naomi. Chapter 3, it says, Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, I like having my Bible with me all the time. So this one, huwezi enda kwa shamba bila jembe. So this one, you ask me a question like, So this is how it goes, yeah?
Yeah.
So then Naomi said to her mother-in-law, said unto her, let me read the Amplified. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to Ruth, my daughter, shall I not seek rest or a home for you that you may prosper?
Yeah.
Basically, what she was doing, she was laying a foundation. One of the things that will cause you to have the wrong foundation is whoever enabled the foundation for you. Naomi takes responsibility in her hands and says, I will guide you to the place. The same hand that is used to hide you is the same hand that is going to be used to elevate you. Look at Jochebed. The same hand that hid Moses is the same hand that is used to keep him safe. Mothers have failed because we have failed to show our daughters which is the right way to build a foundation. Naomi says, I want to show you. Shall I not seek rest? She says, she talks about rest. She talks about a home. So she knows that you cannot base a home on conflict. Your foundation is from the place of rest. The foundation of marriage in the Garden of Eden was from the place of rest. But a lot of us are getting into marriages from the wrong perspective, the wrong foundation. Everybody keeps saying, we are in that season, by the way. I think, did you know that this shoot was supposed to be done at the season where everyone is going home to the village and meet Kahikari? Hey, aujakuja na kamutu. So you see those words, they have a way of seeping through the person. So if you don't have a good foundation, that God's timing is always right, and He will fulfill the desires of your heart with good things, you will start fulfilling the desires of the relatives. So now, as Ruth is steering her daughter-in-law to the right place, it means that this person is a person whose foundation already is firm. So she's able to pour into somebody else that firm foundation. But if we have shaky foundations, look at a person that is not whole. Everything they address you is from the place of the foundation they have. If this person is shaky, they are going to address you from the shaky place. If you asked me this question a couple of years ago, I'd have told you, wachanga na hiyo story. I don't want to hear it because I'm blinded by the negativity of the wrong foundation. But the moment Christ comes in, now He deletes your foundation and then forms His foundation. So wrong foundations are going to lead you to the wrong standing. So the other thing you asked is about, maybe sometime you follow through into that, but right now just allow me to superficially address it. And the other thing is about, you talked about marriages. Do marriages work? Yes, mine has worked. But it's because we are two people who are friends. We are two people who are filled with forgiveness. We are two imperfect. Sorry, I get a bit emotional when I'm thinking about this. We're two people who are so imperfect that we are suited for each other. We are two people who are so goofy, who have made a lot of mistakes, but made sure that we fought together. We are two people who don't know anywhere else but to look up to God. We are two people who stopped competing with each other, found our places, found our positionings, are still trying to find ourselves in God, but we allowed God to take the reins. We are two people who do not deny our past. We're two people who like each other. Because you can love one another, like each other. And you can be two people who like each other, do not love one another. But we are two people who like each other, who trust one another, and who are ready to be taught. We are two children. At some point, because our marriage at some point didn't work, I found reasons to run away. And as I found reasons to run away, the enemy was quick enough to provide avenues for me to run away. And each and every one of them looked like that was the best way. Was the best route. And just before I got completely lost, just like the day my mother grabbed me and pressed the pass on my foot, God did that to me. I lost myself to alcohol. I lost myself to bitterness and a lot of things. It was a dark moment. Really. It was a really bad time. And then one day, I told God, I'm tired. I can't really stop. And he said, fixing me. I was so high all the time. But every time I sat down and I would look at a sober person and ask how they feel.
No, you can answer how they feel now that you're sober.